So there's this podcast called 6 Degrees of Film Degrees. It's not bad. They talk about stupid movies and how someone pretending to be someone else affected their life. Whatever, two hosts are pretty good, Eric and Tessa, but the other guy is something else. What's the deal with Ben Gaddafi? Thinks he's funny, he's not funny, someone slap his ugly face for me. Preferably Tessa.
All right, welcome back to 6 Degrees of Film Degrees. I am Eric Holmes, joined by Tessa, Jean, and Ben Gaddafi. Gaddafi. Today we are covering Galaxy Quest.
I won't do it. Here.
Željko Ivanek.
Wait, wrong movie. Sorry.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm excited about this one. I've been watching this since it came out, like almost religiously.
It's one of those movies, it's like you got nothing going on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
You just throw it on.
Like when people were watching cable, flipping through channels, and if it's on,
He's like, okay.
That's the channel you stopped on.
right?
Right.
That, Top Gun, or Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. Chicago.
You're out. Get out of here. Go on. Galaxy Quest is a sci-fi comedy starring Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman, Sam Rockwell, and Tony Shalhoub. The film's budget was $45 million, grossing $71 million domestically, with a worldwide total of $90 million.
Impressive.
Yes and no.
That's a big budget.
It's a huge budget, but you see why.
This movie, because like I was thinking about this recent watch, how I was just like, man, there's so much money probably went into this fucking movie. Because it's done better, even like the costumes and the aliens, they're better than a lot of like serious movies.
Yes. All right. So that's one of my main points is, for one, the computer animated effects are better than most modern movies that come out. I feel like they hit a point where they could make it look as good as something like this, and then they could do it in a timely fashion. So instead of trying to make shit look good, like the Titanic, when they're showing the ship from afar and blah, 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 it looks real, but it's all computer animated. Nobody spends the time to do it right or make it look realistic anymore. Like, long story short, this movie reached a standard that I think Hollywood just kind of stuck to. Well,
because it hits to a point where with a lot of editing and special effects, like it could be over-edited almost to where it's just like, I'm trying to think of a good example, but there are quite a few movies where it's just like you could have just done without. Like, because I like it when films keep it real. Like, Hellboy 1 versus Hellboy, The Golden Army 2. Like, I love that style, like with the puppetry. And
it was a mix between CGI and practical effects.
Because I think it just looks more real.
It totally does.
And it's just, I think it's better. I understand it's probably easier to just get a CGI team together and get a movie going, but...
Hence the $45 million budget.
Yes.
Right.
It costs a lot of money because, like, one character could... Because, all right, Aliens. James Cameron directed Aliens. To control the Queen, I think there were like 7 or 8 people. Just in that one puppet.
Well, that's probably also why in this movie that the aliens themselves are wearing costumes and not CGI. Because I feel like even at the time, like maybe CGI characters wouldn't be done as well. Like they could get away with space and ships and things. But I think this movie did a fantastic job of the mix. Personally,
I think so too. They cut some corners with the Teletubby monsters, but other like Saris and his crew, they were all wearing like
full suits.
Practical makeup.
Yeah, but see, I'm a fan of the old Ninja Turtles compared to the new age.
Same.
So like I like the original self-titled Ninja Turtles. I think that like them just there's somebody there with a device that's controlling the mouth moving. I'd take that over the CGI Turtles all day.
Right.
Love it.
I wanted more of the tentacle form.
I did too.
I want more
I
of
think
it.
those
I
were
understand
costume
why.
too. I think those were puppets.
Yeah, 100%. They were
It was
totally
awesome.
puppets. But one thing we need to discuss is how did we get to Galaxy Quest?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam fucking Rockwell.
In all his glory.
He plays Guy, crewman number 6.
Do I? Do I?
And he's fabulous in this film as well.
He is.
But that's our link.
Is our link.
So, we'll start off here with kind of our first act of the film. We open with the cast members of the beloved TV show Galaxy Quest waiting on the star of the show backstage at a convention. Running late, Jason Nesmith angers the crew for his continuous absence. Signing autographs, Alexander Dane grows tired of the fans, and the cast grow more annoyed with Jason. In the bathroom, Jason overhears fans calling him a loser and pointing out his co-stars cannot stand him. Just kind of, that's rough. That's rough.
Oh, absolutely.
But I believe, if I read correctly, that had actually happened to Tim Allen.
Not Tim Allen, but William Shatner.
Oh, yes, William Shatner. There we go. So it did happen, but so that's a sad scene. But so he's in the bathroom. He overhears people. They're talking shit. He's such a loser. Everyone hates him. So offended, Jason runs off and goes home to drink, like you do. In the morning, the Thermians show up to his house to take him to negotiate with Saris. Thinking it's just another gig, he fires at Saris and requests to be sent back home. Realizing it was all real, he shows up to another gig he was supposed to do with the crew. The Thermians request him once more, and he convinces the crew then to come with. They believe they're going to another paid job, but soon they realize they were actually beamed through space.
So the opening of the movie, right? It's showing the cheesiness of what sci-fi shows were, kind of like it's making
At the time.
yeah making light of Star Trek.
Yeah.
In this.
It was like a heavy Star Trek, Star Wars mix.
Right.
Like the crowds.
But what I loved about this is that it's full screen. It starts off as full screen, and then once the movie actually kicks in, because they're showing little highlights of this and that, and Tony Shalhoub, like somebody pointed out to me that they were doing this racial stereotype where a white guy was playing an Asian guy, and I didn't realize that at first. Tony Shalhoub was supposed to be Asian in the show. That's why I did that weird squint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was supposed to be Asian.
That's hilarious.
It's fucking. So it's making fun of that. But then the convention starts, and you see the convention, and it slowly turns back to widescreen, and you see the beloved Sam Rockwell announcing to the GalaxyCon.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they call it. Is that
Something
what
like
they called it?
Yeah.
But so I'll just call it Trekkies. Trekkies sitting in the audience, like, oh yeah, let's go. Blah, 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 blah. But they're all like the producer of the show comes out and he's like, hold on, like
Stretch
oh
it
yeah,
out.
stretch
Yeah.
it out, stretch
Yeah.
it out. So he's sitting there having to bullshit, and then we get the cast in the back waiting on Tim Allen. And this is where everybody's introduced to the fucking characters. And in that scene, you get every single personality in the cast. And it's fucking great.
It makes you really think about like the actors themselves, like, William Shatner. Like, when we think of older Star Trek, the only character people really mention is Shatner. And, he probably, he obviously got rich off it, whatever. And then it's kind of like a nudge with Tim Allen's character. And it just the ego along with it. Like, in his world, he is the shit. And, it might be a fucked up one to an extent, like, doing like shows in like people's basements, whatever he's got to do, but it's still making money, I guess. And then the rest of the cast is pushed to the back, but they're technically quote unquote like iconic characters with him. So they're kind of like stuck to the role. And then, obviously, like, when Alan Rickman has his freak out, he's like, the show must go on.
Did I miss his freak out yet? Or his panic attack yet? Nope, looks like it's right on time.
Yeah, so I know originally Alan Rickman hated sci-fi as a genre and was like, no, I'm not doing this. But then after he read the material, he loved the comedy of it, and that's actually what brought him to sign on and do Galaxy Quest, and he agreed to take the role. I know that it's also only one of 2 movies where he plays a non-human, quote-unquote,
What was the
character.
other one?
His other, quote-unquote, non-human role was in Dogma,
Oh, yes.
Metatron.
Yeah.
Yep. And this
I
is
am
the second.
Metatron.
So, yeah. So, 2 roles where he's a non-human. This is one of them. They've got a wonderful picture of him.
He was great in that
I
movie,
mean, his
too.
makeup is awesome. It's so fitting for his, like, facial structure. And
Yeah.
Well,
And you never see him
works.
without that.
nope.
Right. I never noticed how they elongated his nose.
Did they?
Yeah, no, so like his forehead and nose connect.
Uh-huh.
And I realized it on my watch the other night. And I was just like, man, I've seen this movie 1,000 times and never realized that they took the tip of his nose to his forehead and it's just one line.
Yeah, that's the first time I noticed that, too.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
That's wild.
But yeah, no, he keeps this shit on the whole movie, I guess till the very end when he gets all fucked up. But
I think the reason why he was so hesitant to do this, but the reason why he loved it is because he saw himself in the role. Because before he got the role of the villain in Die Hard, he was a theater actor. He had this prestige about him being so well known in the theater community, and then he gets to movies and he's looking at this role like,
well, I think that plays part to it with some of the dialogue he has. He's like, I had 5 curtain calls, you know? Like, I think, you know.
it hit home.
Yeah.
It definitely hit home for him. But he's never been this has-been. His
Right.
character portrays Alexander. So he portrays his character fucking admirably.
Yes.
You know, he just hates his life. This is the best career he's had, or the best paycheck he's had, so that's why he keeps doing it, even though he fucking hates it. And I think we can all attest to having jobs that we've hated in the past. You know, but you just do it because you need a paycheck. So we're going through the convention, and honestly, I've had like a film crush on Sigourney Weaver my entire
Dude,
life.
she's such a babe in this movie.
Oh, I know.
I remember younger thinking that this woman was so attractive, and then realizing later it was Sigourney Weaver. And then I was just like, that's that bitch from Alien. I was like, but they look completely different. You know what I mean? Yeah, she looks really good as a blonde. Hey, Patience made that comment too. She's like, wow.
Well, and I knew because I had seen Alien and Aliens. And like, the only fucking tattoo I have is of a xenomorph. So clearly, I'm a fucking obsessed. Sure. But seeing her immediately, I have to see everything she's in. Seeing Sigourney Weaver in it was fantastic. Seeing Sam Rockwell in it. Because I think the only thing I saw him in before this was Ninja Turtles. And I was like, that's that guy from Ninja Turtles.
Look at him now.
Right?
Regular or menthol.
Wow.
We're a
he
family.
was also in Charlie's Angels.
Oh, that's right.
He played that. I thought he played that character well for what it was.
I literally wrote in my notes that like Sigourney Weaver is stunning, and look at that rack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
However, I hate how dumb they made her.
Right. Her
I
only
hate
purpose is to repeat the computer.
I'm like, it's Sigourney Weaver. I hate that that's like what she is doing throughout the film because I love her so much.
But they acknowledge that at the same time.
Yes.
They do. Yes.
Because she realizes how stupid her character is. Look, I have one job on this lousy ship, so I'm going to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Like Gwen in like the Galaxy Quest real life, Gwen is not stupid.
No.
But the show makes her this ditzy.
Right.
When she was younger and younger looking, you know, she just did it for the role.
I had a 6-page article written about my bra.
Now, how my boobs fit into my suit.
Yeah, how my boobs fit into my suit.
But yeah, I mean, that is one point in here that it does drive me nuts a little bit. I'm like, get another fucking beautiful woman to do this.
I thought
Oh,
she
I
was
thi- I
great.
think-
she
I
was
think
a
she was-
nod to her sci-fi background.
And I know that it was like they were trying to get, obviously she's huge in sci-fi at this moment when the movie is made and to this day. But yeah, there's a part of me that's just like, I put her on such
Does
a
her no
pedestal.
justice. Yeah.
I'm like, how dare you? But I mean, I understand it's just a character that she's playing.
Right.
Anyway, so back to the next events or so, Alex has his freak out, and then they actually get out there, and then Tim Allen's character is just eating it up. You know what I mean?
Goofing with his fans and having a good time.
Well, you got to respect that, though. At least stays genuine to the. He realizes he only has his crowd, but he's sitting there talking to a kid. Like they're talking about episodes specifically because the people who like this stuff, like that's the shit they like.
Right.
And it's probably I've never experienced it, I guess, because I don't really go to these things. But I would only imagine how disheartening it is to want to talk to this person about said things. And then them just writing it off or not giving a fuck.
But I understand the Alexander Danes of the situation too.
He wants to be the star. He wants this recognition, but he's accepted the fact that I am known by Grabthar's hammer, who I am. And
by Grabthar's hammer.
If I have to say that stupid line one more time,
what a savings!
In the same breath, when he goes to the bathroom and then everything goes down, he hears all that. Dude, I could only imagine. I've had situations like that where it's just like you hear something
we
about
all went
something.
to junior high, right?
Right. You're passionate about something, and then this person just shoots you right in the dick.
My thing is, though, these two guys are clearly anti-Galaxy Quest. They fucking hate it. What are they doing at a Galaxy Quest convention?
Right.
All right, but I know people that it's like
trolls.
It's like you learned how to dance sarcastically from the other guys. It's shit like that. It's let's go to make fun of people.
Oh yeah, and Tim Allen's haircut was also modeled after William Shatner's.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, literally, while I was looking for the fun facts, the trivia, it's just a lot.
Fun facts by Tessa.
Yeah, those things. It was a lot of Star Trek references, and I'm not a Trekkie at all. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them, I was just like, okay, cool, like whatever. I know there are people out there that would be so psyched about some of them, but for me personally, I'm just like, okay, I get it. There's a lot of Star Trek references. But there was a couple that I thought were really interesting, and that was one of them. That, yeah, they absolutely cut his hair to look like William Shatner's in Star Trek, the motion picture.
That's fucking wild. I didn't know that. We're always talking about hair in these fucking podcasts.
God,
costuming is important. Hair and makeup is important.
Don't have a mullet. That's the underlining theme.
Unless it's Jet Li's.
Yes. Tessa's sitting there thinking, that was a fucking rat tail. That was a rat tail.
That was not a mullet. Not
but no,
a mullet.
Right after all this goes down, and then, the rest of the crew gets kind of pissed at him, because he does start responding to your experience with his fans. Mm-hmm. He's just next. Yep. And, and obviously Gwen was the first one to be like, he don't do that. That's never been him. He's a dick to us, but never
Not
to
to
the
his
fans,
Mm-hmm.
which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Sigourney Weaver actually was kind of a dick to Tim Allen at one point, I guess, during filming.
Oh, in real life.
In real life, because Tim Allen was a huge fan of Sigourney Weaver and Alien.
I think I heard about this.
And he asked her to sign some of his Alien memorabilia between takes during Galaxy Quest. And she kind of gave him some shit, but ultimately she did end up signing something for him. However, she wrote on it, "Stolen by Tim Allen, loves Sigourney Weaver." And he was upset. Like, he was kind of pissed off about it.
I would be kind of mad too.
And she was like, oh, it was just a fun, poke fun thing. She was trying to make a joke, but also like...
That was his stuff that he prized. Yeah.
So it was a little jab by Sigourney. I thought that was funny.
Listen, you little bitch. No, I'm just
like,
kidding.
fine, I'll fucking sign it.
But no, and then we overlook Justin Long's character in this. He's very minor, but he's here.
It's his cinematic debut.
He looks so little.
He's a baby.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's Justin Long and Rainn Wilson's cinematic debut in this movie.
Yep.
I was gonna bring this up. So Rainn Wilson is in the beginning of this movie. He's part of their little group, but then once they get to the ship, we never see him again. Do we know that there's a reason why we never see him
I
again?
thought we do see him on the ship.
No. Well, yeah, you might see him on the ship. There's like the first couple times that you see the Thermians, you see him.
Yeah, he's
But
part of the trio.
The reason why is his agent double booked it.
Oh.
So they couldn't postpone the movie, and he went to go do a pilot.
The Office.
The Expendables. But it had nothing to do with the.
What?
It had nothing to do with the Stallone movie.
Oh.
It was just called The Expendables,
Oh, okay.
and
One of these
clearly
things
flopped.
is not like the other.
Right.
It was like the
Should have
Expendables.
stayed on
Clear-
the fucking Galaxy Quest
right,
set. What are you
clearly
doing?
fucking flopped.
But if it was a cinematic debut, he was probably just taking
Getting what he could.
everything.
Yeah, he was looking for a career, but and it's not his fault. It was his agent's fault.
Right.
You know, because like when you're starting out, you're not going to have the fucking best agent, or maybe you do. I don't know. Anybody listening to this who's an agent, I'm sorry if I'm running your guys'
They're
names
gonna
through
be
the
like,
dirt.
you know nothing.
No, I don't know anything. I don't have a film degree.
It's the joke.
You guys are a bunch of posers. But that's what I think is funny about the situation is he got double booked. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I gotta go. Sorry.
sucks. I would've
But
liked
then
to
and then
see
the
him.
filler.
But he
the
was still
filler-
in it.
Yeah, the filler guy you've seen in a bunch of shit just as a stand-in somewhere. Mm-hmm. He just does not fit the role of a Thermian, I don't think.
I thought
don't-
he was okay. His eyes were like very eccentric compared to the rest of the Thermians,
And
I
his
guess.
nose.
And like the way he like kind of spoke kind of reminded me of, God, that dude from Demolition Man, the like greetings and salutations guy. Like he's like the bigger dude. He was in like the late '80s movies.
Oh, he was the designer in Beetlejuice.
Yes, and
That
then
guy.
he was like he was also in Dunstan Checks In.
Oh my God! Yes, he was. He was the fucking
he was the
receptionist, or not the
No,
receptionist.
no. He worked for like the grading company that would grade the hotel.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I guess it's been a while since I've seen that.
that guy. He reminded me of the way he spoke. Reminded me of his character in Demolition Man. So we jumped from that, and then the Thermians show up, and then they're like, we need your help, blah 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 blah. He just thinks they're
Help me find the shoe, will you? And they're like looking on the ceiling.
no. When he first initially meets them at the
Oh, yeah.
convention, they're like, "Yeah, we'll be there," and he's like, "Yeah, make sure you send a limo." And then they show up the next morning. He's all fucking hungover, like, "We acquired your limousine."
You will save us.
Did you guys happen to notice Saris's like weird crab-like legs that kind of come out
They're
of
little.
his
They're
head?
little like he's like a fly.
You mean out of his back?
Out of his back,
Yeah,
like these
he's like
weird
a fly.
things. They're,
He's
they're
got the
specifically
tings.
modeled after the Thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that. That makes sense.
And then I went and watched it. I'm like, oh my god, it's the fucking Thing.
Yeah. That's
But
fucking
I
wild.
never would have.
So we're gonna have to bring that up again because once I get to it, it's like there was a pivotal moment that I was like, huh, this is fucking fantastic. I'm gonna look it up, and it's about the special effects. Anyway, so he's on the ship. He thinks it's another fucking gig, and he's just like, fire both tubes at Saris, blah blah blah. And that's the only time that you see Saris without that eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he acquired it from the attack.
Yep.
Fucked him up.
Can't remember what he says, but
Yeah,
he
he
holds
has
up the
his
head
head.
of the guy that fucking didn't put the shield up quick enough. I'm like, oh my god, this is dark.
It's his fault.
Which brings me to my point that this was almost an R-rated movie.
Really?
Was. Yeah,
Yeah.
Just 'cause
originally
of
it
the
was supposed to be
blood-
much more violent and dark.
To be honest with you, it was weird seeing. Because I remember when I first seen this, I only knew Tim Allen as
The tool guy.
the tool guy and the Santa Claus,
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear, and then seeing him as like this alcoholic, I'm just like, oh,
You know what's funny is
his coke problem.
Harold Ramis. Okay,
Who was Harold
Harold
Ramis supposed to do this?
Harold Ramis was the original director. He was signed on to do it, but the studio wanted to cast Tim Allen because he was hot at the moment. He said, "No, I want to cast who do you say, John Travolta or somebody else." And they're like, "No, we're adamant on Tim Allen." So he walked. Harold fucking Ramis.
That's gonna feel like shit.
Well, honestly, I think it would have been a completely different movie, but I think they would have done better in the box office with Harold Ramis's name attached to it.
Yeah.
But the
Rest
fact that
in
he didn't
peace,
want
by the way.
Tim Allen in this role, and I know everybody talks about that because it's a big moment, but Harold Ramis is so beloved in the fucking comedy world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fucker created Ghostbusters. But if he would have just agreed with Tim Allen, because Tim Allen, I can't picture anybody else in this role. But
Yeah.
Tim
I
Allen.
cannot picture John Travolta.
No.
No. And I can't remember if it's John Travolta or not. Where's my phone?
No, I did read that he was an option. He was
John Travolta
considered.
was?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And I remember
No
thinking, I'm like,
offense,
that
but
would
fuck
be
that.
weird.
John Travolta was also considered for the role of Forrest Gump.
Yep.
No.
Also weird.
No.
But yeah, it was originally supposed to be much more violent, much darker. And then after the test screenings, they decided to recut the film and make it more comedic and go for a PG rating.
Can you imagine? I want to see an unrated, uncut version of this movie.
I
Right?
do too.
Now I really do.
I'm like,
But it's just like Event Horizon. You will not get it. It's gone.
never.
It
Never.
Once it hit the cutting room floor, it was literally just like
They
on the
should
old movies
fucking
on the cutting
sell-
room floor,
like,
swept into the trash
That's a
pile.
whole other market and stuff. Why don't they sell that shit to people who want it?
It's because I don't.
Fuck it, dude. It's more money. That's all they hear.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Well,
not?
they were going to make a sequel until Alan Rickman passed away. And then they were like, nope, never mind.
I remember hearing about that.
They were gonna make
actually.
a series also. The guy from The Office, I forget his name,
Rainn Wilson.
Rainn Wilson?
or not The Office, The League.
Oh, shit.
Oh, what we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, him.
What the show was going to be about was first episode was going to open like the movie did, but it's the reboot, and it's like The Rock and Jason Statham and Jeremy Renner, all the hot
Yeah.
actors playing this, and then there's this alien race that comes to them, it's same like the Thermians, but they go to save the day, but it turns out that they were actually the villains, and they just destroyed a civilization of innocent people.
Oh.
So they got fucking played. Meanwhile, the original cast of Galaxy Quest is in like this Terminator 2 scenario where they're being hunted by Saris's daughter.
Oh.
That's dope.
Right?
Yeah.
She wants vengeance for the death of her father, and she's chasing Jason Nesmith. But
Fuck you, Tim Allen.
the reason why this never got made is because they pitched it to everybody. They pitched it mainly to Amazon because they were like, they're starting to do shit, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Amazon had fired everybody in that department. And so when new guys came in, the writer was like, hey, did you check out, did anybody have a chance to check out my script? And the guy sent an email back, we're not taking in, or we're only taking in new projects. We're not looking at past projects.
Right.
And he tried to explain, like, this is a new project. Nobody got back to me about it. And like, if you were talking to somebody else, we don't want it.
Oh.
So just let it go. It's like, what the fuck? And then
It's no more.
Alan Rickman passed away, and he just dropped it. He was like,
That sucks.
can't make it now.
Right.
Which I kind of respect.
I do too.
I'm like, nope, no more.
Jason Nesmith gets back. He bumps into Justin Long and his buddies, and they
Which, applaud their commitment to what they like. They're like, hell yeah, dude, we're going to 2 showings in 2 days.
what a savings.
What a savings.
So they swap transmitters. I think that's what they were calling them, the transmitters.
Look, I got one of these.
Right. And he shows it to everybody, all the cast. They're like, "Oh, he's late again," or look who finally decided to show up. In the Alan Rickman accent, I can't do it. He explains to them that he was just in space. They were termites or terrorists. I can't remember. But then they show up, and then they think he's got a gig, and they're like, "Fuck, we need the money. Let's go."
Right. They're like, when's the next time he's going to ask us to come along?
Right.
Right.
And then Sam Rockwell's is like, yeah, I'm coming too. And then Tony Shalhoub is trying to bake shit in the corner. And that's what I love about that character because he's high. Justin Long confirmed that Tony Shalhoub's character is fucking high.
Yeah, his character's name is Fred Kwan.
Yeah.
And I posed the question, it was like, is Fred Kwan always high? Is he medicated? Is he sedated? And the answer is yes, kind of.
No, he's always stoned.
Tony Shalhoub's character was written and acted with the idea that he was high for the entire film and unfazed by the events occurring around him. And he's always holding a bag of snacks.
I was going to say there's a scene where he's just got a bag of fries.
He always has snacks.
It's like they're like trying to move the thing or whatever, and then he's got just a bag, like the bag of fries in his mouth as he's trying to move it.
Yeah.
I think it's odd to me. I mean, it's funny, I get it, but it's odd to me as someone who may partake in the devil's lettuce from time to time. I'm like,
Sinner.
I would not be unfazed by the things that are you kidding me? I would be
I feel like everybody's different though.
I would be so anxious and like freaking out if I was experiencing this while I was high.
Well, like when they get beamed up or whatever, and he just like gets off, and he's just like, "What's wrong with them?"
Yeah. I don't know. Come on. The best response. We're jumping a little bit ahead because we still need to read Act 2. But the best response was Sam Rockwell, and nobody expected that. That was ad-libbed. That scream. Nobody knows what I'm talking about?
I don't know what scene you're talking about.
Blank.
They get beamed up. Everybody, like the crew members
Sam
are...
Rockwell
where he's just
screams.
So all the reactions around you are natural because
Genuine.
nobody knew he was going to do that.
That's awesome.
He just winged it,
Sam Rockwell for the win.
right?
Coming in clutch. So the crew is introduced to the Thermians and their new ship, realizing the ship was designed by the show and their actions on it. Tommy is tasked with piloting the ship out of the dock, but scrapes the sides upon his exit. I love this scene.
Everyone's just moving their heads.
And yeah, everyone's like when you
It's
bowl
like when you
and
play
you're
like
trying,
a video game or something, like you're
You lean
trying to
into it.
move it.
like a little bit to the left. So he scrapes it along the sides as he's trying to drive this ship out. But once through, they are given lunch from their home planets as they discuss Saris and his intentions. Being shown what happened to their previous commander, the crew attempts to leave. During their escape, Mathazar explains that Saris is here and the crew is requested on the command deck. Saris sends missiles at the ship, forcing them to flee, flying the ship through a magnetic minefield. Once the crew gets to a safe distance, they learn they have damaged the beryllium sphere and need to retrieve a new one. They send a ship to a planet to retrieve a new sphere, but find themselves on a desert planet with carnivorous, angry Teletubby-like creatures. Most of the crew escape with a new sphere, but Jason is left behind, forced to battle a giant rock monster. The crew uses the digital conveyor to beam Jason back, only after turning the pig lizard inside out on a test shot. As they celebrate, Saris and his soldiers walk into the conveyor room, revealing he has taken over the ship.
Now they're on the ship, and they're all disoriented except for Tony Shalhoub, because whatever the fuck he's high on does not affect him.
Do you like how sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
I was gonna say in like the what seemed like a 30-second span of when Tim Allen was all hungover, dressed up, and then beams up there, and all of a sudden he's all captain-y. Mm-hmm. And then like then just fully embraces the situation completely.
Yeah, he was 100% about it, even though he could not be a team player before. He was just like, everybody is now a team player. We're all in this together. Here we go.
And
To be honest
hangovers
with
don't
you,
exist in space.
If that
Right.
happened to me, if I was just like, all right, this is your new life situation, like, all right, let's go.
Yep.
Dude, I'd be fucking excited. Mm-hmm. But
I'd be high and eating snacks.
so the dock, leaving the dock is fucking hilarious. Mm-hmm. Poor Tommy. Poor fucking
He's
Tommy.
trying his best.
Like, he'd never flown that fucking
yeah,
ship
but
before.
What was it? He said that they mirrored its how it's
movements.
off his movements. Yes. So like technically, if he just pretends like he's flying it in the show, it will fly as intended.
Mm-hmm.
And
but he hasn't done it in 18 years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I used to press this button, it'd do this. I don't know. There's so many like minor dialogues from the Thermians that I guess I must not have caught throughout the years. For whatever reason, maybe just for the podcast's sake of me paying more attention to small detail. What was it? One of the guys he made the comment of, we're intelligent when it comes to creating things and our technology is advanced, but when it comes to using it, we're not. I think his name is
I know
Tab.
what you're talking about.
Tab,
yeah.
I think is what his name was. And yeah, he made that comment, and I was just like, I never caught that before.
But it makes,
makes
sense.
But they like fill their own plot holes themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
The Teletubby-like creatures. I didn't see it coming at first when I very first watched this movie.
My favorite
the first
dialogue,
time ever. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, they're so cute.
I thought, I was like, I'm with you.
My favorite dialogue from them is when they're looking over Tim Allen and they're like, why does he look like a child? Because they look like children to us.
Yeah.
Childs.
They look like childs.
But they're terrifying blue monsters.
But I don't know if you guys noticed, like right before they're about to take the ship out, they mentioned like we will feed you in the cafeteria. The Monte Cristo has been a ship favorite from your home world. Just like little thing like the Monte Cristo. What the fuck? But so we get into the cafeteria, and everybody's got like steak or a burger or pasta, and then poor fucking Alan Rickman, he's got
Yummy.
Bugs.
blood slug beetles or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Gross.
Yeah,
Just
like Mother used to make. But that's when they have the, oh fuck, we're out. We got to get the fuck out of here, because they like.
Well, that's when they
I'm
show.
so sorry. You should know. And they show what happened to the old captain.
Right. One of us tried to lead.
He just turns around like. One thing I thought was fucking hilarious is that like they didn't even get a chance to escape. They were trying, but then Saris is here,
Right.
requesting everybody's presence, and then you see him with the fucking eye patch. Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
Now, in reference to the rock monster, did you happen to read anything about the controversy over this rock monster?
No, I missed that.
Okay, so apparently, William Shatner was a little butthurt about the rock monster being included in Galaxy Quest because he really wanted to introduce rock monsters in Star Trek, the Final Frontier, but he was told no.
Really?
And he was like, that was his idea, and he really wanted to bring him in. And then here comes Galaxy Quest with all the Star Trek references, and they get the rock monster.
It's messed up.
That's, well, Galaxy
Don't
Quest
forget
for the
about
win.
Don't forget about the pig lizard.
And the pig lizard. Yeah, this
The
is.
pig lizard turned inside out.
I think this is a good time
And
to
he
bring up.
exploded.
And it exploded. Good time to bring up the fact that this was voted the 7th best Star Trek movie of all time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by Trekkies at a Star Trek convention. It was voted the 7th best Star Trek movie ever made.
It's fun.
But like even to the point where J.J. fucking Abrams, when he made the new Star Trek movie, there's a scene in it that he held Galaxy Quest in such praise that he modeled a scene out of the new Star Trek movie from this.
Really?
The beaming up scene. If anybody recalls.
Oh, yeah. That's the exact same thing.
I know how to do this.
Yes. Holy shit.
Yeah. J.J. Abrams is on record saying he based that scene off of Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, I found a lot. There is so many scenes, costumes, one-liners that are directly pulled from Star Trek. I had no idea just how many references there were until I just started digging into it, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot. This is too much for me, personally.
And I'm not 2 minutes.
We covered the pig lizard turning inside out for the test shot. Bold move to continue forward. with that. Just saying. After that thing turns inside out.
I know that
Like,
was fucking like you clearly fucked that up, and then Tony Shalhoub is just all of a sudden.
I got this.
No,
Yeah.
I got it.
Tim Allen's fine.
Like, no, I don't think you got it. Are
You managed
sure?
to take your
Maybe
shirt
he
off.
low key wanted him to explode.
Could have been.
Maybe.
He was
I
high
mean-
as fuck. Well, I wonder
Yeah.
what this would look like.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't really want a live pig lizard like that just roaming around the ship. Probably
True.
would
Sure.
Cause,
So you're saying the explosion was
reek.
intended?
I don't know, just a thought.
Could
It
have been.
sure did not seem intentional.
I guess we don't know.
It could have
but
been.
we don't know. But yeah, so the pig lizard happens. They do get Jason, Tim Allen, back in one piece, and
Well, yeah,
Right
that was
side
before
out.
he fought Grignac. Rock.
yes, the
Rock.
rock monster.
Rock.
After being forced to confess to Mathazar that they are just actors, Jason and Alexander stage a fight to distract Saris's men, saving the crew. Alexander goes to save the Thermians. Jason and Gwen go to shut the core down. Fred, Guy, and Leilari go to return air to parts of the ship, and Tommy is sent to practice driving, for obvious reasons.
Pedal to the metal, Commander.
Jason and Gwen gain the help through the bowels of the ship from a superfan and his friends. They successfully shut down the self-destruct sequence, rescue the Thermians, and take back the ship. With renewed confidence, the crew challenges Saris and draws his ship into the magnetic minefield. This time, the Protector drags the magnetic mines into Saris's vessel, destroying it. Saris escapes the explosion, coming onto the deck and shooting everyone. That's a letdown. Went from and destroying it. Just kidding. He's there. He shoots everyone. Jason activates the Omega-13, having 13 seconds to redo the one mistake. During the celebration, they are informed the ship is moving too fast and is too big to enter the atmosphere. So they board a shuttle and crash land into another Galaxy Quest convention. They all exit on stage, and Jason invites the entire crew to bow with him.
This is really when I'm paying attention to the practical effects. Like Saris and his crew look fucking amazing. And I got a wild hair up my ass, and I'm like, who the fuck did this? Stan Winston Studio. Are you familiar?
No.
I believe you talked about it the other day, so
Okay.
I guess I am, yes.
You mentioned in that those little wingy thingies were influenced by the Thing. Mm-hmm. It's because the studio that designed them worked on the fucking Thing.
Oh, that makes
That's
a lot
why
of sense.
yeah, you
They
told me
did.
that. Yeah.
And this is just a short list from their resume. Aliens, Jurassic Park, both Terminator 1 and 2, The Thing, Predator, Pumpkinhead 1 and 2. Like,
Makes
did it
sense.
all.
American
I like
Werewolf in
those
London.
are all the things I think of where I like those types of things.
and this is where I'm like, we're kind of fucking up by sticking with the actors. You know what I mean? Because we could go with fucking Stan Winston.
And go a whole bunch of different routes.
Right. We could choose aliens, blah, 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 so, but that's why I was so impressed. It's because it's the best of the best in Hollywood doing these practical effects. Like,
So it was them, probably their idea then, because if you pay attention, when they first show the aliens in their tentacle form, one of them is holding a speculum.
yeah, I saw that. He's
And
clamping
I was
it.
like, who fucking came up with that idea? Like,
Right. Stan
like,
Winston,
now we
you
know
old
it's
pervert.
Stan Winston. Let's throw a speculum in there. All right.
It's just
Okay. Now
clicking it.
we know.
But it almost makes me feel like Tom Savini was on set. He was a special effects artist in Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead,
Okay.
the originals.
Yeah.
And he, if you remember from Dusk Till Dawn, he did the special effects in that too. But he was also the guy with the cock gun.
Oh, him. Yeah.
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 So maybe he did have something to do with it.
Could have been. So Justin Long, we haven't talked about him much.
Not
but
really.
this is where he really shines. Because
Yeah.
he's helping Gwen and Jason, and he gets his band of brothers, and one of his friends. I noticed he's done a lot of movies with. One movie in particular is
Accepted.
yes, you noticed him too.
Yeah. It's
That
the
tall,
taller guy.
lanky dude.
I'm here to learn how to blow shit up with my mind.
But yeah, he's fantastic in this. He plays the nerdy kid so well. And I just want to say, I know it's just a TV show. I know. Hey, no. It's real. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. He was so
it's his
excited.
time to shine. It's adorable.
Exactly. And he trying to explain to his mother, like he has to take the trash out. Mother, you don't understand the severity of the situation going on right now.
Like the mom telling you to pause your game when you're playing like a fucking online game with somebody. It's like, you can't pause this.
Right. Well,
but
and
he still takes the trash out.
Right. And
Respect.
but he also understands that this is a life or death situation. Mm-hmm. It's like, motherfucker. Because it was either that or his mom turns off his computer.
I like how he hit up his homie. He's like, dude, do you know this pattern? Whatever.
Right.
Dude, I have so many
4 2 2 7 8 or whatever it was.
As someone who has like friends similar to that, I played World of Warcraft for years. Mm-hmm. Like people that just like random, there's like your niche dude that knows this random thing about something.
Right.
Like you hit him up and he fucking just knows it randomly. I feel for them.
I'm just listening. I don't play video games, so I have nothing to contribute.
This
in
is
that
definitely
area.
where it hits the video game. Just because like I've had groups of friends like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still technically do as a 1-year-old man. Like I hop on my computer, I hop at Discord. I got dudes I've been playing with for like 6-7 years. It's always chill. They're some of the greatest people you ever meet too.
Just leave me alone with my bath and my dogs and my peace
That being
and quiet.
said, I hope Justin Long and his homies are still friends to this day.
I bet they are.
I have a feeling
almost-
they are.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just me wanting to think that they are. And
Wonder-
believing that I know something about Justin Long's
Good
Wonder if-
segue. Good
character.
segue.
Yeah.
But I want to believe they are. I think they're those kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I want to think so, at least.
Anyway, so they get through the thing. And then what was it? They get there. They don't figure it out. And then the clock always stops at 1.
Yeah, they're hugging
Yeah.
each other. I love that though, because he's like, she's like, I always too. And then they hug each other. They don't actually say it, but then he starts laughing. It's like, it always stops at 1. She's like, wait, what were you gonna say? Come on,
I
you
think
already
it's
know.
pretty cool what they do with the minefield. I think it's
Where they like track it on the back. And then just,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
clever
it's
because
genius.
it's a spin from before he learned to drive, as opposed to after. Because he's
Before he just plowed
bumping
through
into
it, yeah.
every single mine, and now he's getting close enough to. I know it was Jason Nesmith's idea, but still, he's getting close enough to drag him, and he's skilled enough to do that just by watching himself. It's like muscle memory. He just remembered how he used to bend it. And
I
then
think-
Yeah,
puts
that
it
was all
into
him.
actual mechanics.
Towards the end of this movie, I think one of my favorite parts is when Alan Rickman and his super fanboy, the one that's like, I've never met you before in my life, but I've always considered you a father. when his shit with that, where they're like fighting everybody in the I guess whatever they're at bedrooms.
Quillick. His name is Quillick, and he dies.
That's right. But this is right before he dies. But yeah, but I think I like that when they all like rise up and fight for themselves or whatever.
Mm-hmm. They finally grow a backbone, and that's actually a moving scene though. It's like when he says, "By Grabthaw's hammer, you will be avenged." Like
This is the first time he actually meant it.
exactly, or was passionate about it, and you see that like that. That's why I love Alan Rickman. You see the anger in his eyes, and he turns and runs towards the guy, and he's hitting it looked like the Fifth Element gun, but he's trying to.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Kind of smacking it, like trying to get it to work. And he's, oh. But then
The new
after that fight
Ice
scene,
Cube system.
right? That's the first time you see that Alan Rickman has hair, because he breaks the cap by fighting all those fuckers, and he's got a little bit sticking up. Upon their re-entry, one thing that I thought of, like, yeah, they're using the Roman candles upon re-entry, so they know where the hell they're going. But they're flying through the parking lot and bouncing off of everybody's fucking cars. I'd be pissed.
Yes.
Nah, they're probably so beloved that they don't care.
No,
Right?
I don't care.
Like,
that
oh my
would
god, they
suck.
crushed my car.
Jason Nesmith, oh my God, sign it, please.
Collectible. Like, this is a story for the books.
I
Maybe
just wonder.
not pissed at the moment, but like a couple months down the road, they're like,
Does your insurance cover that?
I was just going to ask whose insurance covers it. Is it your insurance?
I
Is
bet
it the
you-
convention's insurance?
Oh.
I mean, you really can't come after the Thermians.
No, you can't come after the Thermians.
I
But they
guess-
just barged into that convention.
What if
and,
it's Tim Allen? Maybe that's...
Oh,
They come after the crew. They came out of the ship. To their knowledge, it's theirs.
this is true.
We skipped over where just before that Monk was, he was Saris. Saris was Monk.
That's right. The
And then
Omega
the Omega
13.
13,
We did
yes.
skip over that.
Yep. So what was it? It was right before this. Was they thought they're like, oh, we're back, and then he comes out and then shoots everyone.
Yeah, he just walks up like with that
Pew, pew, pew,
weird
pew.
smile, shoots everybody, activate the Omega 13. And then it was Justin Long who said there are some that theorize that it would reset time back 13 seconds to redo a mistake.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And so Justin Long fucking saving the day twice. You know?
In his cinematic debut. What a guy.
God damn it, Justin. You're good.
But yeah, so they have 13 seconds to redo the one mistake.
And then he walks up and just clocks Monk. And everybody's freaking out like, what are you doing? That's not
Quan.
Jelko Ivanek.
No!
wrong actor.
It's not Quan.
But just knowing what his actual anatomy looks like, do you think as a human punching that dude thing in the face would actually do anything to him though?
Oh, probably not. Well, he is in human form, so he's probably not used to
But he has the
balance.
It's just a projector.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. I don't know.
I don't know. I would need
Plot
to know the
hole.
logistics of
Found it.
I found it.
the chemical makeup of that.
Unless they're like ants or whatever, where they're just like exoskeleton on the outside and they're just soft on the inside.
Fan theory. Okay, she brought up that those fucking tentacles that come out of the back of Saris's thingy,
They're modeled after the thing.
they're after the thing. So maybe he is the thing. And he's trying to mimic that fucking creature, which is Saris, has no idea how to. Now he's got to mimic a human again. He hasn't done that since the fucking 80s.
Yeah, but
so,
there's a scene where they show him with the device that makes him change into the...
You're ruining it.
Yes.
I'm going home.
They show it in his hand.
Incorrect.
Okay. Okay. Well, anyway. Yeah. Okay. Plot hole.
I need to know more about the chemical makeup of his
Yeah, but if he's just like...
shape-shifting.
No,
to be able
he
to
has the
answer that.
device that the Thermians have.
Goddamn Thermians.
Yeah.
You ruin everything. You make things better, but you ruin it.
Either way,
I'm not cool enough.
he goes for it. He throws the punch regardless.
Right. Knocks him down.
And then they find out that it's Saris, and everybody saves the day. And
Then they land. And then he has his heroic roll. Do you remember on the desert
when he has to
planet?
shoot him again.
Yeah, on the desert planet, they're like, does the rolling help? He's like, a little.
They made the special effect when he rolls and shoots him. You're talking
Yeah.
about the convention, right?
Yeah.
When he rolls and shoots him, how it looks super cheesy. That's what the show did. It's like the tiny detail. The Thermians were watching the shows, and their phasers did that. It'd just make somebody go. It'd make somebody go, disappear, and then
Right.
a poof with sparkles on the show. So when he shoots Saris for real, but that
Right.
taser or phaser,
Phaser.
that's exactly what he does. He just disappears, bright flash, cloud of smoke, and then sparkles. The Thermians were fucking geniuses. They just mimicked
are.
everything. They figured out how to do that. But all right,
But now
go ahead.
Go ahead.
One person I wanted to point out was Kevin McDonald. He is the guy. He is the host of that convention.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Curly hair. Do you know what he's from?
Yeah. No.
Kids in the Hall. And they're revamping Kids in the Hall. That means a lot to me.
I'm
A
excited
lot.
for you.
That was my fucking childhood.
I'm excited.
very, very
for
excited for you.
Thank you, guys. I need a pat on the back and maybe a hand job. Eric?
I don't give two fucks. I'm going to get chicken fingers.
Can you bring me back some Popeyes?
That sounds
Okay, no.
good.
She's giving me that look.
Anyway,
Anyway.
you have the car.
So, all right. So we are at the end of the movie. The underlying message is Tim Allen learned teamwork. he finally understood what it meant to work as a team. Like, he invites the whole crew out to bow with him.
That and the underlining issue of how hard it is to be a co-star on a show where it's mainly eclipsed by a star.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does to those people.
Yes. So he understood that.
Yes, and I hope the rest of the world understands that these people need appreciation as well.
Yes.
I mean, he literally learned that he cannot and would not have been able to do it without them.
No.
And Guy, on the reboot,
He
next...
gets to be Guy the guy.
Yeah, he got a last name and a permanent role on the ship.
He didn't die.
He was a security officer.
Right.
Senior security officer or something like that.
Number
Good
6.
for you. Good for you. Good for you.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell.
On the desert planet when they just open up the ship without even checking for air.
Right.
He's like,
What? Does this planet have air? You don't know.
And he's just,
Yeah.
seems good to me.
seems all right to me. I love it.
Those two. They're a pair.
I feel like that's how Ben sees me, just running through life.
Seems good.
I'm
to
just
me.
Tony Shalhoub. I'm just,
You know, I almost, for the next movie, went with Polly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Tony Shalhoub plays the Russian that finds Polly in that fucking weird basement. So yeah, that's the end of the movie. Should we...
Galaxy Quest.
Love it.
So the ratings,
The ratings. That special time in the podcast.
indubitably, where I show Eric my tits.
And then I decide, is this a one and done? Is this a rent occasionally? Is that what I decided on? And then is this a buy it and own it? Well, for myself, I feel like a lot of these movies are going to be like that for me. I'm just going to buy it. I already own it. Whatever. Ben, what do you think?
Going to me.
Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely a purchase. I will put it on my shelf because I've seen it so many times.
Right.
You know, it's
It's a ham sandwich movie.
exactly. And
Yeah.
movies like this, I enjoyed it immensely, and I want to watch it over and over again.
What about you, Tessa? What do you think?
So I'm definitely, I don't think I'm quite as big of a fan as you guys. I've seen it a lot over the years. I've never felt the need to buy it because I can always find some place to watch it, whether it's flipping through the
That's
channels
fair.
and it's on or, whatever. But I can always find a place to watch it if I want to watch it. So I don't think I would buy it.
So it's
To, like, put in my-
It's a mid tier.
Yeah, it's a mid-tier for me, to be honest. Not that I'm, like, trying to shit on the movie by any means, but I'm just at that point where I've seen it so many times that I'm kind of at the point now, like, if I want to take a nap, but I want to watch a movie, I'll put on this movie.
Yeah.
Because I know it so well, and I'm not going to feel like I miss out on anything, but I still am going to enjoy it.
So it's a rent occasionally.
I think it would be a rent occasionally for me. I think that maybe if I was, it's odd for me because I am such a sci-fi fan, but never got into Star Trek ever. Not even the tiniest bit.
I'm not a Trek myself.
Nor am I.
I'm a Star Wars, but I like
Yeah.
this movie.
And I also have never been a huge fan of like movies that take place mostly on a ship. I don't know what it is about that, but like I need more variety. But I mean, it's a middle of the road for me. That's where I'm at.
Well, I wonder if that's everybody else's opinion too. I would love to hear it on said socials whenever they exist.
Said socials.
Yes, it will happen. It will be a thing.
We're starting
By
a
the
Pornhub
time-
account.
Oh, right next to Ben's OnlyFans.
For the spicy content.
I finally learned how to twerk.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, it's a fetish page. It's not for everyone.
She doesn't know my handle, so
No, but I watch
Guess
him
again,
walk around the house
butter
buck
stuff.
ass naked. I'm telling you.
I know I don't have an ass, so there's no twerking. It's like a skeleton just jiggling about. It's fucking you dummy. What are you doing? She just laughs.
It's like a skeleton in a windsock had a baby.
Oh
Hey,
my-
somebody gave me $5 to do that the other day. It was great. Anyway, moving on. So
It's a 2 for me.
join us next week.
Yeah, Ben,
for-
what are we doing?
We are following Alan Rickman as he goes into the very strange, very weird German movie Perfume: The Story of Murder.
5 curtain calls.
Oh my God. 5 good. What a savings.
Perfume. Here we go.
And that's been another Fun Facts by Tessa.
All right, we'll catch you on the Perfume episode.
Željko Ivanek.
Bye.
I'm gonna smash that thing.
Why? I don't. Tessa, honestly, I don't think
Željko Ivanek.
would appreciate that very much.
Degrees.